Hi, it's Ned with Willow Way Nurseries in Avon, Ohio. This week we're going to talk a little bit about Asclepias tuberosa. If you go into Cultivate, stop by our booth and ask questions about it. They might have something special for you. But really want to talk about this. This is part of the American Beauties program. It's a native plant, pollinator friendly. There's a whole program and series of plants that we've selected and we grow for this program to be pollinator friendly, native. You can see these are in bloom right now. We do a lot with this plant, a lot of value in this plot from a grower standpoint. We grow this from seed here at Willow Way that we purchase in the seed, and then grow it in a plug, and then we put 3 plugs per pot, so in a gallon. And you know, some of the things we're looking at is moisture. This is a little bit drier plant, so we do a little dry. We're putting pretty good amount of nutrients to it, and we do a lot of trims with it, so we try to keep it bushy. Being a prairie plant, it tends to be a little stringy and tall growing, so we have to do a lot of trims in this to get a lot of breaks and make it really look full. So there's a little behind the scenes with this plant, but a great plant, great orange color on the Asclepias tuberosa, and we really like it. It is seed grown, so you do get a little bit of genetic variability in it. So what that means is that not every seed is going to be exactly the same. This is not a clonal plant. And clonal is every plant would be exactly the same. So if we did tissue culture or something like that. So you see, even in this pot, we've got a little bit different. We've got one of the plugs is in full flower, one is in partial, and then we've got one that hasn't put buds out yet. So you're seeing a little bit of genetic difference there. Not anything you need to worry about. It's just an open pollinated plant. So one of the other things I wanted to talk about while we were in here was we do release Priscillus and Swarovski, 2 different biological control measures. They're both mites, so they're predatory mites. So Asclepias can be in production, can have a couple of main issues. We get 2-spot spider mite, and we also get thrips, especially when we start to see flowers, thrips come up. They'll do some stippling on the leaves. They're fairly easy to see. So we release on a weekly basis these predators to help control. So if you do like a paper test, which I've covered in the past, where kind of clipboard, white piece of paper, you're patting the plant against it and you see some bugs on there, not all of them are bad. These predator mites move really quickly on the paper, where a 2-spot spider mite's much slower. They stay almost in place. The other thing is the color when you kind of smear them. If they're brown or kind of a reddish color, those are the predator spider mites, versus like a green or a yellow. When you smear them, those are the 2-spot. So there's a little bit of difference to be able to tell what you've got going on. Obviously, with using a biological control, we do not achieve 100% kill on everything, but we keep a good population so we don't see damage. It's part of our integrated pest management. So if you do see some mites, make sure you're trying to identify the difference within them. If you have questions, please reach out to us. We're happy to answer questions with it, but we do ship these types of predator mites with the plants, so, and they'll continue to do their work with the plants into your garden center or your operation. Hi, it's Ted with Willow Way. We moved over to the Cephalanthus, another part of the American Beauties native plant program. As I'm standing here, I can hear all the buzzing of the honeybees that are on it right now. It's just loaded. The whole area is just buzzing. Very good for pollinators, so butterflies as well. You can see the display of the white flowers. What looks like little globes. Really nice display, and you get a little bit of a seed pod there afterwards. But they're just coming into kind of like just peak flowering right now. A nice mid-sized shrub. Can be trimmed. We don't trim them this time of year just because of the flowering, but we do trim this. A nice green, waxy leaf color to it. Good color, easy grower. You could go full sun, partial shade with it, and do well. If you got too much shade, it's going to really get leggy on you. So sighting's a little bit important here. Some of the other stuff, growing degree days, we're at 1358. And we're kind of at peak emergence right now, or I'm sorry, 1548. We're at peak emergence right now for spotted lanternfly. I think I talked about that in the last video. The adult emergence, so be on the lookout. Like Tree of Heaven's one of their preferred hosts. The adults tend to cluster. They're kind of a grayish color on their backside, but if they're in flight or they expend their wings, there's a lot of color there to it. We do have a gap that's kind of coming up for pests that are coming. About 1900 degree days is the next kind of big push for some second generation pests, and I'll talk about those when we get a little bit closer to that. Some of the things that we're constantly looking at right now is potato leafhopper, and looking for damage in like maples and robinia and a number of other plants we have around the nursery. So, and then also I should say also Asculus is one. The bottle brush buckeyes, which are in like full bloom plus right now, they can get the leafhopper. And then red-headed flea weevil or beetle is another one that's out there. You want to look at like Weigela, Fothergilla. They pretty much get on a wide range of plant material, so that's another one that we constantly battle for. We do a number of drenches for the grubs that are in the soil, and then we do this with the adult emergence. We're doing some sprays as well to control that. As you can see, Rosa Sharon is in bloom right now. The first blooms were like 1348 to 1400. We're kind of now opened up a little bit more, so that's a good indicator for where we're at. And you can see we've got a number of varieties out here. The gold stuff behind me is Golden Victory Privet, which is doing really nice, and with this heat and the sun has really popped out. The yellow color is outstanding right now.